You get drafted, you don't negotiate. The NBA finna tell you how much bread you making for the next 4 years. And you say thank you, massa. Every young buck signs that rookie contract. And the slot you slid into determines how much bread you make, twin. First pick makes more than the second makes more than third, so on and so forth. The league controls your earning power before you've even played a single minute. But as a game go, not everybody get drafted. The two-way contract exists for hoopers who are good enough to be in the conversation, but not good enough to guarantee a roster spot. Time is split between the NBA and the G League, and you can only play 50 games at the NBA level. You're basically on trial the entire season. Mac McClung won the slam dunk contest on a two-way contract. That's the ceiling, and most guys never see it. The two-way still ain't desperate enough for some situations. In regards to injury in 1 week, they need a body today. That's the 10-day contract. Exactly what it sounds like. 10 days. After that, squad either signs you for the rest of the season or you going back to the crib. Isaiah Thomas was averaging 29 points a game in 2017. One of the toughest things to watch in recent NBA history. A former all-star bouncing from 10-day to 10-day just trying to prove he could still play. The contract designed for emergencies became his only way back in. And he never fully made it back. But that's the bottom of the league. Here's how the top operates. Sometimes a player wants to leave and the team says fine. Instead of losing him for nothing, they trade his rights to the new team in exchange for players or picks. When KD left Brooklyn, they got paid for letting him go. That's a sign and trade. The roster set technically can't sign anyone, except the NBA gives every team a little gift called the mid-level exception. A fixed pool of money you can use to sign players even when you're over the cap. Not enough for a star, but enough for a role player that can keep you in the mix for a chip. Chris Middleton built a career on deals like this. But what about keeping your own guys or even the cornerstone of your franchise? Because in this case, Larry Bird was so good that they named a rule after him. When your own player's contract expires, the salary cap would normally restrict what you can offer him. Bird rights removed this ceiling entirely. The squad can go over the cap to re-sign your own guy. The league built this specifically so teams aren't punished for developing great players. Some vets been around the block long enough to know that everything ain't about bread. The veteran minimum is the lowest a team can pay an experienced player. The league minimum is $1.16 million, but a 10-year vet, his floor is $3.3 million. Same minimum contract, just more years of experience, which means more money guaranteed. And some guys take it voluntarily. Andre Iguodala took the minimum to stay at Golden State. No drama, just a man who understood that a ring is worth more than a few extra millions on paper. To earn a max contract, you either need 7 years of experience in the league or an all-NBA selection. NBA built those requirements intentionally. You gotta ball until they turn off the field lights before that bread is even on the table. Steph Curry signed 2 of them Jones. In 2026, the floor is around 40 million, but even that number has a ceiling. To qualify for this giant bread sack, you need 7 or 8 years in the league, plus either an all-NBA, an MVP, or Defensive Player of the Year. Hit those marks, twin, and your current team can offer you up to 35% of the salary cap and only 30% elsewhere. NBA built it specifically to reward loyalty and make leaving harder. Shea could have ran off on the plug in OKC for a bigger market and more cameras, but he stayed and was rewarded one of the biggest bags in NBA history. Some chase big cities, but the supermax exists for those who bet on where they are already.